This is a grape. You can either A. Eat it and get an array of essential minerals and vitamins, or B. Undergo an arduous and inefficient process to go from a grape to this substance, which from our body's perspective is basically poison. But it also makes you forget about how horrible and pointless your life actually is. And these two choices are not limited to just grapes. In our quest of getting flat out smashed, we made alcohol out of almost everything. With one exception, animals. And yes, it is possible, because you don't need the entire grape to make alcohol, you just need the sugars inside the grape. And the good news is that these sugars are also found in animals. The only bad news is that it's pretty difficult to get them out of the animals. Firstly, you need to make the animal into a uniform pile of mush. You then take that mush and put it into a solvent that specifically targets the sugars. This can be water, acetone, or ironically enough, it can also be alcohol. After that, you take what's left, use a combination of filters, remove the solvent, spin the sample a couple of times, concentrate the solution, purify it, and bam, you end up with the sugars. But how much sugar would that be? Well, it depends. An average human, for instance, has about 5 grams of glucose in their bloodstream, and 5 grams is really not a lot. However, we do have a bunch of glycogen stored in our liver and muscles. This is not actually sugar, but rather a carbohydrate. But you can undergo this process to make it into a sugar, bringing the average human body to a total of about 605 grams of glucose. In ideal conditions, this equates to roughly 309 grams of pure ethanol, or 4 bottles of wine and almost 2 beers, which could get you smashed for about 2 nights in a row. The only slight issue is that the prerequisite is a human sacrifice, which kinda explains why no one is doing it. Firstly, the whole process is not only lengthy and complex, but also stupidly inefficient, which is going to increase your production costs. Even if you brand your product as an exquisite, high-end choice, your competitors can just respond by labeling their food-based alcohol as animal-based. And because they have a smaller production cost and an identical selling point, they can just lower their prices and drive you out of business. What's worse is that you can't even appeal this injustice to any regulatory body since your products are literally identical. The only choice you are left with is to fight this in court, which is a lengthy and costly process, so it's very likely you'll end up in bankruptcy way before any official decision comes out. So making alcohol from animals is just a bad business model. And it also is very unethical and very wrong, so please don't actually do that.